Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for being here tonight. It's been a while since we've been here. Um, it's we're getting in the hang of it, I guess, right? Look at Connor's face; he's like he doesn't know what's going on. Hey, so hope everybody had a great holiday season, Christmas and New Year. We're glad to be back. I'm Joe.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Lorena.
Okay, so I got notes here today, and we're gonna see if this works. We're trying something a little different. We got a lot to talk about
To
tonight.
talk.
But
Today, Junior.
you wanted to say something, Lorena.
Yes, I want to say hello, everyone, especially to our members now watching us on YouTube, Daniel Estrada and Logan Lofton.
Hey guys, thanks for being here. We really appreciate the support. So I want to talk about a couple things real quick. The last two episodes we have done were premieres. Was it two or was it three? Three?
I believe it was 3.
Three. So we had three premieres over over the Christmas, the holiday seasons. And it turned out really well. If you guys haven't seen the 1000X video, go check it out. It is by far one of our best performing videos to date.
It broke the internet.
It's done really well. We're really proud of it. Obviously, it was a little difficult to, record in the factory.
I wouldn't know why.
It was.
I can still hear the rain in my ears.
It was a nightmare. And then getting that all situated. And I'll tell you what's even worse is the shaping video.
The steam ain't quiet up there.
The steam is not quiet. It is it's full boiler going. So I've got
with air pressure behind it.
Yeah, I've got the video done, and it is not one of the longest shaping videos, as you can imagine. Because why, Connor?
Because you're a perfectionist.
No. Why is it not a long video? What is different about factory shaping?
It's production. It's not one-on-one with a customer. We don't do that at the factory.
So it's fast, right? You guys are.
Well, let me rephrase that. We do shape for customers occasionally.
Right.
But we don't take the time. It's not as much of an experience as it is at a store.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, Julie did a fantastic job.
As always.
And you guys are going to get to see some funny moments in there. Can't wait to talk with Julie about that because she's coming here to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
She agreed publicly.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Well, I had already asked her while we were at the factory, so that's good. But yeah, so it's a great. I say it's great. I think it's a good video. There's a lot of good information in the video. It's not full production quality because you just can't, in the factory like that. But it's. I mean, where else are you going to see that? I mean, it's unprecedented. That kind of.
And the only way you're going to see it's if you go to the factory.
When are you going to see one hat, or when are you going to follow an entire rack of hats through the factory? You're not going to do that there.
You're not,
unless you work there, right?
True. I walked many a hat through that factory.
There you go. So it's a really good opportunity to see what happens in the entire production.
Behind the scenes.
I mean, we did the factory tour 2.5 years ago, and I mean that's good too because a lot of people can't get out here to do that.
Right.
I mean it's kind of. I like both of them. It's something that kind of interests me, right? Going and seeing how things are made.
Well, I mean, I'm that same way. I like knowing how things work. I don't know. Maybe it's the ADHD in me or the gearhead in me. I like knowing the behind the scenes, the mechanical side of everything, of how everything functions.
Right. So if you guys weren't here for those premieres the last 2 or 3 weeks, check them out. We also had the Double R Hat House video that is up and out, and it's really good too. I mean, I liked how that one kind of went together, lighting and everything kind of is finally coming together on these videos that are out there. Yeah, Connor was supposed to be there. He didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
Truck issues.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I also haven't watched the videos either.
How dare you?
You were there for the premiere of the 1000X, weren't you?
for a little bit until I lost service on the way home.
Oh man.
I, I I'll set the phone on the dash and let it play on the way home.
Yes, at least.
There, I'll get you your review.
All right. So, hey, we want to thank Joby's Hats and American Hat Company, the biggest supporters, two of the biggest supporters of the channel. Besides you guys who are here every Sunday, we really appreciate you guys too. But without Joby's and American Hat, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing this, and we wouldn't be able to bring you this kind of content. And we just really appreciate them for all the support.
And Joey's not listening, maybe, because he's always on Facebook. I don't see him.
Joby is out of the country. He's on vacation.
Good for him.
He's in Europe. So he'll be back this week. He'll be back this week, and we'll go hang out with him and kind of check and see how his vacation went. But we did see him before Christmas. We saw him at the Christmas party, and we saw him at the store and some other things. But how was the store? How's the store been over the last, say, 3 weeks? Because Joby's been gone a good 2 weeks, right?
Somewhere along those lines, yeah. It's been up until this week, and I say this week being the last 7 days. The last 7 days have been pretty slow. Obviously, after all of the holidays are over, everyone's got their hats. They've got them shaped. They've done everything they need to do. So this next week or two is going to be kind of a intermediate period of deadness, if you will, while we're waiting for stock show to kick off and things like that.
That's right, because we do have stock show, and it's in my notes here. We'll talk about it a little later, but we got WESA coming up too.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have a lot of people coming in. A lot of vendors from other stores coming in to see how we operate.
That's right.
Other
I never thought about that.
Manufacturers. During this time when they have trade shows like that, a lot of other stores, employees, owners, they want to come into the big stores down here and see how we operate, how we function,
of course,
and kind of get ideas, which we're more than happy to show anyone around. So,
right. I mean, I never thought about it, but that makes perfect sense.
I mean, 2-3 weeks ago, we had probably 6 or 8 people from Ariat, I believe, come in.
Okay.
They were training some new people on certain systems, and they wanted to use our store because it's a new store,
right?
And it's a big store, and they had plenty of room to operate. And they were there for a couple hours, just kind of hanging out and talking with us, and then doing our own thing.
Nice. Well, how was your Christmas? He looks a deer in the headlights. You can't see it because he's not on this camera.
Again, Connor. Let's do that again. Ask him.
I don't really remember what I did for Christmas. I think.
So you blacked out?
Not like that. Don't say it like that. It makes me sound like an alcoholic.
Okay.
What did I do that day? I think I just kind of hung around the house.
Christmas and New Year, those days.
Something like that.
We gave Connor a couple of weeks off.
Yes.
That was kind of the main reason that we premiered those videos. We had family in town here.
Mm-hmm.
From Mexico, and Connor, I know he wanted to spend some time with family, so that's why we did the premieres over the last couple of weeks. So Connor doesn't remember what New Year and Christmas were like, but that's okay.
Well, I spent New Year's Eve in bed. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. You'll see me push the mic away a few times throughout this and cough. I've been sick this week, so
he's sick.
I'm gonna try and keep the coughing to a minimum for you guys. I'm sorry in advance.
Happy New Year, everyone! By the way,
Happy New Year, absolutely, yeah,
God.
Guys. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We obviously we posted that, but since you're here, we'll go ahead and say that already. So we're going to talk about custom hats today. What do you know about custom hats?
Not much. I hate it here. Other than the little bit of experience that I've had when people have brought them into the store, I don't know a whole lot about them.
Right. Well, you know what? We're going to talk about what you've seen custom hats come into the store and how they shape and the different qualities that you've seen. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to unpack a bunch of stuff right now.
All right.
And I'll tell you why. So there was a post about the hat store and their custom hats in the American Hat Company Facebook group this week. Yesterday, I think. And I don't look at Reddit but I recently became aware there's a Reddit cowboy hat subreddit,
Oh no.
and it is a disaster.
Were you gonna try and run that too?
No, I can't. I just can't do it. I mean, I'll get notifications just because I follow it now. It'll pop up, and I have to stop myself. So what we're gonna do is, you and I are gonna go through the subreddit one night on video, and we're gonna we're gonna correct errors.
That should be fun.
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and make a statement.
Yeah.
Reddit, you kind of want to leave Reddit alone.
Yeah. Well,
There's
there's
not
so
a
much
lot of
bad
rules on.
information.
Well, there's not a lot of rules on that platform. We don't need Reddit coming after us. We cannot survive that.
Maybe they can come here and learn something. But anyway, back to the hat store and their custom hats. So their custom hats are rodeo bump, and they have a couple of different levels, right? So they have 100, I think it's 100X and below, that are made for them by another company, private label. And then they have their custom stuff, which is being done by Andre Trevino.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre, if you guys haven't seen the 1000X video, we talk to Cody Bates about Andre in there. Andre worked for American Hat Company for like 50 years.
Mhm.
I mean, he is probably, you ask some of these custom guys who've been doing it for a long time and who know Andre, he's very well thought of. He, as a hat maker, and he can finish a hat.
He knows his stuff. I would never question or second guess anything he says.
I have not ever seen a hat finished to the level of that bone that we saw.
That 500
that 500X bone
glass
at the hat store that Andre did, and it was like glass. I mean, it was the best finish on a hat. I have no idea how he did it. Was he using like a whetstone? I mean, how does he get it that smooth?
I wish I knew.
It's ridiculous.
50 years, almost 60 years of experience
Yes.
at this point. I mean,
So the guy knows what he's doing.
right.
The guy knows what he's doing,
Right.
first of all. And he makes a beautiful hat. And somebody said we shouldn't say beautiful to a hat, right?
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I pray for their fragile masculinity.
You can't call a hat beautiful anymore, Connor.
Ay, sí,
It's supposed to be
señorita.
handsome. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard, right?
And then someone said in that video with double R, when he was talking to Emilio,
Yeah.
and different shades, of the 100X,
Uh-huh.
1000X natural.
What'd they say?
You sound like two ladies discussing purses.
Yeah.
How
The internet's full of fun.
how
Cool.
insecure
Right?
are you in your
Well,
insignificant life that bothers you that much?
It's a Hispanic trait.
What?
Oh no.
It is.
Oh no.
Ugh.
We'll start the new year off the wrong way.
Connor, you
I'm
want to
out.
run the controls?
I'm out.
I'm out too.
It is. Masculinity is kind of a thing in Mexico, isn't it? Is it not?
Well, yes.
Like
It's a very
machismo,
machista.
right?
Yes.
Machismo.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
It's a big problem.
Anyways.
Anyway,
Now would be a good time to mention there's a fair bit of our viewers. Most of our viewers are Hispanic, Joe.
I know they are.
Tread lightly. Because I see a lot of them at Joby's. Do not make them mad, please.
Hey, Connor told me to say this if you're watching.
Oh my God. He did not. He's just trying to get out of
Hit
it.
the button. Hit the button.
Which button?
Dance, monkey, dance.
No?
I hate it here.
That's the one.
There you go.
No, it's all a bunch
I
of
feel
fun. I'm just
unsafe.
teasing you guys. So anyway, Andre makes a fantastic hat.
Absolutely.
And it's beautiful. I have not seen anything finished, like I said, to that level.
Absolutely.
It's a great hat. And I wish he was still working at American because, American makes a fantastic hat. But, he taught everybody there, right?
Well, but that goes back to custom
Right.
versus production.
That's true. That's true.
A
That's true.
custom, you can take that time because you're not doing the volume. Whereas Americans pushing out 400 or 500 felt hats a day,
Right.
they cannot take that time on each one and it be feasible. Whereas if you're doing customs, just throwing a number out, you're doing, even if it's one hat a day,
Mhm.
you have however long to spend finishing it
Mhm.
versus 3, even if you do it on the low end of 200 hats a day, it's not a fair comparison.
You're absolutely right. And that goes to, I mean, there's different levels of custom.
Right. And everybody holds customs to a higher level because of that name. When you hear the
Well,
word custom,
do they actually hold them to a higher level, or do they just say, well, it's
It's up here.
custom, it's got to be better?
it's mind over matter.
It's mind over
It's
matter.
mind over matter. I can give you an example. Old vehicles. You'd hear like an F100
Yeah.
custom.
Right.
That didn't mean it was very nice.
Right.
That just mean it was a specific spec on the low end of things.
Yeah.
So
Well, there are some custom makers out there who have their problems. Some very famous ones, right? They've been on TV and like they've got a big name, the custom maker. Ask our buddy Clay, how many of these specific brands has he had replaced because they have not been able to get it right the first time? I think he's on 4 hats. So I mean, custom. There's different levels to custom, and we're going
Right.
to talk about the different levels. And this is all my opinion. But it's an opinion based on what I do, right? I go out there and I talk to different people. I wear American hats, but that doesn't mean I don't go to all of the custom shops every time we're in town.
Well-
I've been in Oklahoma City. I've been to custom shops here. I've been to custom shops, and I go in and I talk to them,
Well,
and I
just 'cause
find
you-
out all the information while I'm there.
Well, just because you're wearing the hat you're wearing doesn't mean you can't appreciate another
That's
company's
right.
quality.
That's right.
It might not be what you prefer, but you can still appreciate the work and the effort that goes into it.
No, I don't. Now look, I think there are a handful of top tier custom makers, and when you get to that level, it's far above any production hat. Don't care what company it is.
Right.
Okay, so it's not that I prefer American. I represent American because they make a fantastic mass-produced hat.
Right.
I think, in my personal opinion, it is the best hat on the market that is a mass-produced hat.
Right. If we were looking for the best hat
Mm-hmm.
all around or whatever the case, we might be with a custom shop.
Yes.
We would be wearing custom hats maybe.
Yeah.
But if we do that, that's great for that specific manufacturer or maker
Right.
or custom shop. But that doesn't help everybody because not everybody can get a custom hat.
Well,
And
What's
a lot
the
of
wait
places
time?
wouldn't be able to keep up
what's
with
the wait
demand.
time, right? So if you've got a custom hat, we got 60,000+ members in the American group alone,
Mhm.
and we've got something like 250. I mean, it was 250,000 members across all platforms 6 months ago. I don't know what it is now. We would have to
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. So if we're talking one specific brand to all of those people all the time, and it's one custom guy, he's not going to be able to keep up the demand.
And that's just with this group. That's not
Right.
including everybody else.
Right. So, you can't do that to a custom guy, especially if they're already a year out.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Well, and there again, customs are one-off in the sense that they're meant specifically for most customs are going to be form fitted to your head.
Right.
They're going to be
we're going to talk about
a
that
match
too
of
in
that.
a minute.
Whereas a production hat, you're not going to get that.
Right.
They both have their ups and downsides. That's the main thing to understand before we get too far into it is they're both going to have pros and cons.
Right. And I can't read this.
You don't get my handwriting?
No, it's oh yeah. So I get it now. It's my words and she wrote it. But anyway, like I said, this is all my opinion. And if I am wrong, one of these custom guys is gonna call me and tell me. I guarantee it. I'll get a text message tomorrow. Because it's happened before.
That's a story time for a different time.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, let's talk about, as you said, these hats are custom fit. All right. So that's the conformer, but it's not conformer. What is it? It's conformateur, right? And 4,000,000. So the conformer is what takes basically a picture of your head and then translates that through the 4,000,000 into a wooden block,
Right.
but not a full block, not a full crown block. It's just
No.
it's just a band block.
It's just a band for the inside of the band of the hat.
Right.
Basically, the hat thinks it's on someone's head the entire time.
Right. And so you're not getting. A lot of people think, oh, well, you get your custom block made. They're not making an entire block of your head.
That would be a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a band block, and if you watch the 1000X video where you go to the second plating, you'll see Cody puts a band block in there, and if you'll watch very closely, that band block is very loose, and as he's plating it, it shrinks up, and then he forms the hat around this band block, and by the time he's done, flips it over, and that band block is tight. That's basically the process. If that band block had been, if we'd used the conformator on my head, that band block would basically be a custom hat, right? And they had the ability to do that. I've had my head conformated, and so is Lorena at American.
Mhm.
We could have gone that route, but in my opinion, and I've been told I'm wrong, but in my opinion, what's the difference? Because okay, so it fits perfectly to your head as soon as it comes off production. Then what? What happens after it comes out of production?
You got to have it shaped.
You got to have it shaped. And what happens to a hat once you shape it?
They move. The oval changes. Everything moves and warps.
And I will tell you with this hat, and this is a spoiler, because we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about this hat fully in the upcoming video. But when I got this hat, it was very loose. They taped it. Over the course of 2 weeks, it shrunk, right? It started shrinking, and it was giving me a headache. I pulled the tape out. It still didn't fit great. It was a little uncomfortable. But also, it didn't have enough dip in it, right? Because hats move, right? And it was a brand new hat just off of the production line and onto shaping and onto my head and out the door. So it went through a process of kind of curing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Went to Best Hat. Danny put a little bit of dip in this hat. Man, it fit perfectly. I mean, it fit perfectly. There's no tape in it. It is not, you can see it is not, I mean, it's stuck to my head, right? It's not, I mean, it just fits perfectly.
Right.
So what happens if you have an exact shape of your head and then it shrinks up? It's going to be way too tight.
Well,
in my opinion.
Well, that's also why a lot of custom shops will give you that block.
Right.
Because they're taking into consideration, hey, this hat's going to shrink.
Yeah.
So if you are not wearing it, put your block in it.
Right.
And a lot of those custom shops, I would assume, are going to tell you that when you get the hat. Hey, if you're not wearing it, make sure it's on its block.
And the customs that Clay had came with those as well, those band blocks. But if you don't know what you're doing and you put it in there a little off center, what happens?
The hat's off center now.
Instead of that being,
you put it on, the oval's perfect on your head, but the shape might be.
Yeah. So it'll move your hat all around.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's a gimmick.
It could be.
It could be.
Well, like you say, if you're just going to wear it open and flat, then absolutely the conforming is the way to go. But if you're not.
I don't have a custom hat, right? I've had custom hat makers tell me 100% it is not a gimmick. But I've had other people say it 100% is a gimmick.
Right. Well, and like I said, that to me, in my opinion, a good hat shaper should be able to make that hat mold to your head perfectly anyway.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the topic we're on.
No, it is.
I'll let that one go.
It is. It's 100% the topic we're on.
I mean, for example, mine was just an open crown, this hat I'm wearing here, but with the shape that I put in it, this thing fits me like a glove.
Right.
There's no tape in it anywhere, and it fits snug and perfect to me.
All my hats start with tape because
they shrink.
I'm between an 1/8 and a quarter, and I always get a quarter. And it
shrinks up.
It shrinks up.
That's normal. Any hat with a decent amount of beaver in it, a good quality hat with beaver in it, is going to shrink over time.
Yeah.
What's the best way to prevent a hat from shrinking? Is it wearing it every day?
You can't.
No?
You can't really prevent it.
Even if you wear it every day?
I wear this one every day.
Don't leave it in the car.
Never.
make sure it's not too small for you or, your exact size. I mean, look, if you are in between sizes, like myself, or
Always go up.
always go up. Like I'm right smack in the middle of between an eighth and a quarter.
Well, there's the thing is, if you're worried that if it shrinks a little bit, it won't be the right size, in my opinion, a lot of that is on your hat shaper.
Yeah.
Where you bought that hat from, they should inform you that. That's something I try to. I always, when somebody comes up with a hat already in their hands, put it on. Let me verify that it fits you right, because it's going to shrink. And some brands shrink or warp. I wouldn't say a lot of them shrink up when we shape them. I would say they warp. The oval changes
The oval changes,
drastically as we shape them.
I have a question about that.
Okay.
Mike K asks, what part of a hat shrinks the most? The band, reed, or felt?
The leather, right?
The leather, so over time, if you leave it in your truck or something like that, if it's exposed to heat, the leather.
I don't know
up.
for sure.
The leather shrinks up. It's the leather.
Well, I know the leather does shrink.
Yes, but most of the time it's not the felt that's shrinking up.
Let's talk about this though, real quick, because we didn't talk about this on camera. And if you guys are here, you're getting a sneak, kind of a spoiler on that one too. Her hat is drummed.
Mhm.
And if you don't know what drummed is, the body is one size and the leather is one size smaller, right? Is that how that works? Can you explain drummed?
The drummed is basically a half size. So
Half size.
basically, you're 7 1/4,
Yeah.
between a quarter and an eighth.
Yeah.
So he's going to order a 7 1/4 drummed.
Yeah.
They're going to make the hat as a
Mhm.
7 1/4. They're going to take the leather, make it a 7 1/4 leather.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to trim off a little bit of it at the back
Mhm.
where it's sewn together. So when they do sew it together, instead of it being flush against the inside of the hat, it's going to have a little bit of extra cushion. So when he puts it on, it's going to be a little tight back here. And when he puts it on, that's going to take up that extra room.
I don't order mine drummed, but it is how she got her 100X.
Mhm.
And because she has a lot of hair,
Mhm.
as a matter of fact, she is a whole size and a half larger now than she was 2 years ago,
It's the hair.
just because more hair.
Get a haircut.
Never. My curls
Yes.
are my personality.
Get a haircut.
Jesus.
I have a question, by the way.
Yeah.
John Wise. Hi, John.
Hi, John.
If you haven't had a custom hat, how can you say it's a gimmick? Not throwing stones, just asking a question.
Because I know how hats are made, and I know what is being done, and we saw the absolute exact process in the factory. I know how hats work. I know that if the hat comes out perfect to fit and you shape it, it's going to change.
It is. It might not be a major change, but it is going to change.
Right. So, I mean, I don't understand the point of it.
And if you look at it from that perspective of that exactly there, of it's perfect, except when you shape it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'd rather have a hat that fits good before I shape it, and then once I shape it, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm 100% willing to get a custom hat if you want to prove me wrong, right? So let's do a custom hat, and I will be glad to come back here and tell you whether or not.
Yeah, but now you have to find a custom hat maker that fits to your standards.
Uh-oh.
And if any of you are out there
can I-
considering getting him a custom hat,
Can I bring my own shaper?
good luck.
Can I bring my own shaper?
Yeah, we'll find out what Joby's doing that day. We'll find out what Joby's doing, because I'm not doing it.
I want to read a comment here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Daryl Smithwick says, thank you guys for all the content on American hats. It really helps with pretty much all questions I wanted answers to.
Hey, that's great. I'm glad it helps.
That's what we're here
Thanks for being here. So I want to talk about talk about X Factor and hat bodies.
Oof, that's a can of worms.
Yeah.
So first off,
Uh-huh.
we've said it before, we'll
Yeah.
say it again. There is no standard among the industry of quality. There is no standard.
No.
Every company has a different measure of quality.
I'm gonna get to that in a minute because it really upsets me. But anyway, He sits back, push the mic out. All right. So 3X and 5X hats from 30 years ago are fantastic.
Absolutely.
You-
Those,
you see them today and you're like,
oh yeah,
man,
those hats that come into the store today that are still an old Stetson or resistol or John B. Stetson,
right.
3X, 5X, heaven forbid you see a 10X.
Yeah.
Those are, if somebody brings one of those in, most of the time I'm not even concerned with them.
Yeah.
Like, you want to reshape it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll block it. I'll steam the crap out of it. I'll clean it and reshape it like it was a brand new hat.
What happened? Why is a 3X? What's a 3X now?
Depends on what that company's ordering.
No, but what's a 3X? If somebody comes to Joby's and buys a 3X, what is it?
It's pure wool.
Yeah, you know why? You know what happened?
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
So
You're foaming at the mouth here.
So the wool hat makers come in and they think, okay, well, we gotta put X's on our hats too, right? Well, we'll be a 3X and we'll be a 5X. But a 3X wool and a 5X wool is nowhere near a 3X or 5X hat from the day, because
Those hats
that
were beaver.
3X and 5X is something akin to a 50X, 100X, 50X, probably 50X and 30X, whatever today, right? Just figure a factor of 10, right?
That's fair. Well, because back then, there was no such thing as a 200, 500,
right.
1000X.
Oh,
Those didn't exist.
We're gonna hit those too. We're gonna
You're starting
we're gonna
off.
hit it all. We're gonna
You're
hit it all.
starting off with all the buttons this year, aren't you?
Hey, look, there's so many people out there who think one way.
Maybe we should preface all this by saying this is probably going to be a multi-part thing.
It could be.
This is not going to be all covered in 1 hour.
We're not going to cover all of the X Factor today. We're going to hit just basics on the X Factor. We can do a full X Factor video, and I really hate the X Factors. I think it's horrible. I think it's a horrible. It's just a horrible thing. I think it should be. Look, a wool hat, there is a law that requires a wool product to put a label in there and tell you what the percentage of wool is. Why not felt? You know why? Do you know why?
You're going to tell me? Dude, I'm just enjoying this. It's funny. This is your autism now.
All right, we're not going to dig too deep in the weeds on X Factor, but I'm just saying
Looks like you want to, though.
There's so much to it, right? It's a flawed system. It is. It's a flawed system. Everybody, this is what drove me to where we're at today. Okay, so the X Factor is a flawed system. If you call somebody up and say, "Hey, what's a 30X?" Well, I mean, it's a blend.
You're gonna get a different answer from every company you call.
Yeah, you are, and some people aren't going to want to tell you.
No, a lot of people, lot of companies aren't going to tell you. Whatever their reasoning may be.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Why do you seem so hostile?
Because yeah. Anyway, so 3X and 5X today are wool because the wool guys wanted to put an X in their hat, and that required a shift in the X Factor system, right? So let's change it from a 10X system to a 100X system. Perfect. Now, 100X is 100%.
But yet I see 100X wool all the time. I see 100X wool. I've seen 500X wool.
You're going to have that. You can order whatever you want from Mexico and put whatever label you want on it. That's just how it is. You can put whatever label you want on it. You want to look, straw is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is a 100X straw? What's a 200? What's a 500X straw?
I was going to say I had a customer come in the other day asking for a 500X straw.
Yeah, well, that's because Stetson sells them.
Oh, that's exactly what he wanted. I'm like,
yeah.
Why would you spend the money on that straw hat?
Yeah.
But once again, hey, to each his own.
That's what they wanted. All right, so 30 years ago, much different system.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we got that out of the way. This is a crazy one, man. This is a very controversial issue, and a lot of people are misinformed. Maybe me included.
About that,
Yeah.
Jay Savoy on Facebook says, fun discussion to have and a discussion that needs to be had to prevent misinformation.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. And this is why we do this, because this is what started the whole thing. I saw misinformation on the internet, and this kind of grew into doing it on video because it was easier than
Well, and a lot of people
addressing each and every one.
a lot of people would rather probably watch a video and learn about something
Yeah.
than try and spend however long reading down that rabbit hole.
So we've diluted the X pool with wool. Look, so in 5X Rodeo King, I saw just today, because of Reddit again, is almost $300. A 5X all wool hat from Rodeo King is retail at $300. What's a 6X retail for?
You mean 7?
No, what's a 6X?
We don't carry 6.
You carry the
Rodeo King 6?
or no, not the Rodeo King, but the resistol and Stetson.
I honestly don't even know. I
think they're like $350.
Well, I
Almost
know
$400.
a Rodeo King 7X is $350.
Okay. Well, I think the 6X Stetson are $350 plus.
I think they're somewhere around there.
$350 plus. So 6X, that's also a wool hat. Sorry, guys. Dropping the bomb on them today. 6X is a wool hat. 6X is wool and rabbit.
I have a lot of questions.
We're killing the internet right now. These guys are losing their minds. 6X.
It seems like you're the only one that's losing your mind. You seem really wound up and aggressive.
Do I?
Biff.
A little bit.
All right.
Biff Wellington says, checking Social Blade subscribers next week for Cowboy Cartel.
Checking what?
Social Blade subscribers.
What's a social blade?
I don't know.
Okay. We'll have to Google it.
Vox Guitars Rock. Didn't X Factor used to refer to beaver for percentage? 50X equals 50% beaver?
It's supposed to. It's supposed to.
That's what it used to mean, correct?
Yeah.
Dog Suits. I have a 33-year-old resistol 15X diamond horseshoe that has the smoothest finish and the thumb factor comparable to my newer 100X Greeley.
Yeah.
George Harpel says, let's hear more about J.W. Brooks. Love American, but J.W.'s are amazing and great hats.
Hey, we saw JW at
Double R.
Double R. Thank you. I don't know if I can say. Can we say? I think he says.
What?
What is it? I can't. I don't know. I don't want to say. And I talked to Amelia today. He may be here in a week or two.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we'll do a video on it, and we'll talk about J.W. Brooks with him if we get the opportunity.
Look, it'll be an episode with Emilio that I get to be there for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or your truck's gonna have problems again. God.
Yeah. Right. It might be through. It might be during the week because he might be here for Wessa. So I talked to him today. If he's here, we're going to do a video. If not, we'll do it another time. But that's a potential possibility. Anyway, what I was going to say is I like J.W. Brooks. The bodies he uses are very heavy. The custom stuff he's doing for other people is exceptional. Some colors are exceptional. As the color changes, it was different, right? And that's you're going to have that with custom stuff, right? Not every hat is going to be fantastic.
No,
from anybody.
Well, it's not production. It's one
Even
off.
production. Not everyone is perfect because
they're all handmade.
Right, exactly. Right.
There's human error.
There is. So anyway, J.W. Brooks is using a very heavy body. I don't know if I need that. It's a very thick hat. The sweatband is a little weird for me. It's cushioned. Look,
I love
either
it.
you like it or you hate it.
I like the idea of it. I don't know how I'd feel about it on my head.
Yeah.
That's the thing is
Well,
I like
look,
the idea.
I would have to try it and
Right.
live
You
in
don't know
it,
till you try it.
live in it for a long time, right?
Right.
You would have to see how that does over time. I heard Amelia told us he's got some kind of interchangeable sweatband coming out where you can just like rip it out, wash it if you want to use it, and put a new one in. It's like it's got a patent on it, like a quick detach sweatband.
That's interesting.
You don't like the idea of that?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
I'm not gonna knock it.
I would be
Emilio's one of
interested
those
to see.
guys I trust. If that's something he's working on, hey,
Right.
he's not just gonna slap his name on something that's a crap product.
Right.
He's done his research. I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah. Lorena has a question.
Well, it's a comment by David James. He says, "Wish I could attend your hat shaping class in February. I won't arrive there until February 14th. About that, you guys,
It's sold
our
out.
class is sold out. So thank you so much for all your interest. And we have a wait list now going on.
We do. We have 3 people who wanted in on the February. 4 people who wanted in on the February class, and we couldn't get them in. Unfortunately, I mean, I would love to get them in there, but we can't. I said, Connor, is there any way we can get one more, squeeze one more in there? And he said no.
And there's a
blame
reason
Connor.
for that. There's a reason for that. The more
Yeah.
people we have in there, the less time I get with each individual to actually make sure they're actually learning something.
Right.
So if you guys are interested, you can always go to our website or you can shoot us an email.
So we will work on April classes. We'll talk to Joby and Connor, and we'll try to schedule something for April. And we'll let you know as soon as that happens. But we're probably going to have to do, we'll do a wait list or something. We'll get that going this week. And then we'll do a wait list before we have the dates, and then we'll get the dates and we'll figure it out. We'll talk to you. Anyway, we're off topic.
Go figure.
So the threshold really for a good hat starts at 7X. That's where you get a little bit of beaver.
Where you start getting into the beaver hats.
Little bit of beaver, or an all rabbit hat. It's either going to be all rabbit, hair, right? Hair, not rabbit.
Mhm.
Rabbit, hair, either one, mix of both, depending on who the manufacturer is. But a 7X is where you get into that good quality hat. Okay. And a 7X is, I mean, it's just the difference between a 6X and a 7X is huge.
Right.
I mean, like a lot of people don't understand that. They think, it's 6X, 7X, it is what it is.
It's one increment, whereas a 7 to a 10 or a 10 to a 20,
Yeah.
20 to a 40,
Right.
40 to a 100
Right.
kind of thing.
But it's not. It's kind of, it should be the kind of the same difference as going from a 7X to a 20X. Going from a 6X to a 7X is kind of the same thing as going from a 7X to a 20X.
Right.
So, I mean, if you haven't tried a 7X and you think it's just one number difference, it's not. It's a completely different animal.
Yeah, it is. Literally.
Yeah. Thank you. You're right.
That's so cool. So, a question by one of our members, Ruben Rosas asks, so, hang on a second, this thing just moved. If Rodeo King hat is marked 100X pure beaver, is it really full beaver?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I don't know what are the grades they come in.
Rodeo King, I'm not sure what all they make. I can tell you what all we carry.
Mm-hmm.
We carry 7 10X grizzly, some regular 10X.
Yeah.
30 and then 100.
Yeah.
And 1,000.
100. How much 100 go for?
I think a 30X I know goes for.
I'll tell you right now.
600 or 700, and then I think 100 is right at 11 or 1,200.
I'll tell you right now that a 100X body is $450. So, because this is coming up a little later in my topics here, 100X body is $450. So Keystone is double. So if you buy it for $450 and you would double that, it would be $900 that you would sell it to a retailer, and a retailer would double that. So make that make sense.
But that's not the actual number, because a Rodeo King 1000X I think is right at 1,800.
100X body from Thepsa is $450.
Mm-hmm. No, I know what you're saying.
Make that make sense.
Which part? Why it's $450?
No. How much is a Rodeo King?
I believe, like I said, I believe the 100X is 11 or 1200. I could be wrong on that. It's been
All
a
right.
minute.
Now, another point of fact is 100X body from FEPSA for me to buy one is $450.
Right. But they're buying in bulk.
But if you're buying a bazillion of them,
right.
maybe
That's the
it's
thing.
maybe it's not so much.
Surplus, not surplus, wholesale.
Right.
Because you're buying multiple pallets of them at a time.
All right. We'll pigeonhole that.
Interesting question here.
Yeah.
What would you say the most durable American hat is? 100, 200, or 500X?
500 all day long. All day long. I mean, it's just a fantastic hat.
And I want to know how you like your 1000X now that you've been wearing it.
I love it. I wear the crap out of it. It's a beautiful hat.
He wears it to bed.
No, I don't.
No, he does.
But it's a beautiful hat. It's very comfortable. It's like wearing a 500X,
but better.
They're curious about that toothpick in your hat, Connor.
I have a lot of people that ask about that.
Do you really use it, or is it just mere decoration?
I use it occasionally. Not a whole
really?
lot. Yeah, I don't care. I really don't care.
All right.
I think it looked great.
I'm the kind of guy that I'll use my own pocket knife for cutting food.
All right.
I do as I say, not as I do, y'all.
Right.
Just a gold toothpick. I got it in Vegas in 22. Had to get the gold because it matched the gold buckle on 1000.
There you go. I've got a sterling silver one that Justin Biltonen made for me in my.
I like this one because it's not the two pieces rolled together. It's just one.
Oh yeah.
It's one solid piece.
Yeah, I used a square stock and twisted it.
David James says, "How's the wife like you wearing the 1000X? Now, where is her 1000X hat?" LOL. That's the question I ask myself every day.
Hey, she got her 100X this year.
So you're saying she's only 10% as good as you?
Oh my God! Wow.
Is that what you're saying?
Connor staring the pot.
Look at Connor.
Hey, I don't live here. I don't have to deal with it.
Back on topic.
That's why we have cards.
All right. So 7X, we said, is the starting point for a really good hat. All right. Now, when it comes to quality, true quality starts at a 50% blend, 50 to 100%, right? So in that range, that's where you really get a really fantastic hat. I mean, that's where you can really sand it down and get it really short. Get it
you
really
can sand it, but still have enough body to work with.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
Right. So people don't. You really need to ask when you're buying the hat, especially if you're going to a custom person. What is this? What is this? If they say, "Oh, this is it's my 40X," well, what is your 40X? What's it made from? Because he needs to tell you, right?
You need to know you need to know what you're paying for if it's worth it.
Right. There's too much ambiguity in the X factor. Ask the guy, what body is that?
Right.
What percentage beaver is that? Really. Transparency in blends. I mean, this is we're going back. Here we go again. X factor is misleading and should be eliminated. I think, like I said, we should be going back to like we do with the wool products, where you have to actually say how much wool is in a product. I think you should do the same thing.
Look at your clothing you wear.
Yes.
The clothing has percentages of what's in it.
Yeah. And there is a law on the books called Truth in Advertising or Manufacturing or whatever this is. And you really don't have to tell anybody what your hat is made out of unless it's made out of wool. So if it's made out of beaver or rabbit or whatever, you don't have to tell anybody, right? But if you do, you can't lie about it. So if you say, well, it's a 40X. Well, what's a 40X? Well, it's 40% beaver. And you're wrong, and you lied about it, then you've opened your entire business up for a huge lawsuit.
Well, and that's the thing is, if if they were to come out and tell you what was actually in their hats, if they had that tag in there, just like your
They would
clothing that
have
you
to
wear.
tell you. Like they would have to be truthful with you.
Well, the thing is, not only that, but if they had that tag in there, just like your clothing does,
Mhm.
there wouldn't be these big differences among these companies
No.
anymore.
No.
All these hats would be almost they would almost be entirely the same at that point, because
The same as in how? Like because you can still order different weighted bodies.
well, right, but
some-
like the quality, the all around
Yeah.
quality.
Well, look, some manufacturers, whether they be a small shop or a large manufacturer, they can order these bodies. They can order them pre-pounced. They can
Mhm.
order them unpounced.
Mhm.
They can order them with a little bit of shellac, with no shellac.
Right.
However, they determine they want to do it.
Right.
Especially if they're ordering them from Stetson, right? So, and especially if they have that buying power. So there's a lot of different ways they can get them, and knowing what all of that means in the long run, because if you're ordering a pre-pounced hat, that means in maker, the custom guy, he
Mhm.
doesn't have he has to do less work to the hat. Right. And there are some other added kind of side effects with a pre-pounced body that you're going to get that aren't really going to produce the best quality hat.
Right.
Now, what else? Shellac, the amount of shellac that's in the hat. Okay. Is your custom guy, is he ironing the crown? Right? Because that's how you get a stiff crown. Or is he ordering it with a shit ton of shellac? Yes, I said that. Sorry. So there are a lot of different things that go into making a custom hat, and you should educate yourself before you order a custom hat just because it says custom, right? Or just because they've had a TV show.
I feel like you're calling somebody out very specifically there.
No, not at all. I'm just saying there's a lot of these custom guys out there who are not making a great product.
I have another comment here.
Yeah.
My case says, I'm impressed how you can keep up with all the numbers, prices, excess, felt, percentages, and model numbers. You guys rock.
Dude, this is what we do for a living, both of us, right?
This is no joke. When I make the jokes all the time when
Right.
I say something is my autism. This is legitimately his autism. This is what he focuses on. This is legitimately what he's building his life around at this point. This is
Oh yeah,
This is your job.
This is what I do for a living.
this
right.
is your job now.
And
So if you're gonna do a job,
you got to do
do
it
a
right.
job.
Yeah, you got to do it right. I think, and you got to be credible. And
And then I've spent 10 years in this business learning
Right.
stuff as I go. So, and I just, I like learning things anyway. So whether or not I use this information, I still have a lot of it in my head.
well, back to but the whole thing with the X Factor, we've been a champion of the truth in X Factor since the beginning.
Right.
My first call to American Hat was, hey, what is what's the blend? What is a 7X? How much beaver's in that? And we got a non-answer answer. Well, no, I mean, they gave me some information, right? At that time. And then I spent years figuring it out. And then finally Keith Mundy said, you want to know? Here it is. I'll tell you what our blend is. And he
Mhm.
told us,
Yeah.
you were in that meeting.
Yep.
This is what our hats are made of.
He gave
Every one
us
of them.
everything.
Every one of them. And we've said that before. We've told it on a podcast before. And we're not too far off I think it's published on the American Hat Company Facebook group.
I believe it is.
It's published on there. I don't know if it's got the updated version, but it's on there. And it's pretty close. So custom hat makers, know the blend. Careful who you're buying from, right? Because, like I said, the 100% beaver hat body is $450 from Stetson. If you go on their website and look, it's $450. You hear all the time where this guy says, hey, look, just go check out these guys. They've got all beaver hats for $700. Bullshit. Because where are they getting that body, right? How are they gonna be selling a $700? What do they got? $200 in labor in it? That's it? And they're just gonna sell it? I don't believe it. Connor. It's not true. It's not true. That $700 all beaver hat is not true. I guarantee it. How much is a all beaver hat, right?
All beaver hat would be 100x and up.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I know an American 100x is 1200. I would assume a Rodeo King 100x is going to be actually closer.
900.
I would say 900 somewhere in there.
And
'cause
they're
Rodeo
pumping
King,
them out.
Rodeo King is a little bit cheaper than
pumping 'em out.
American.
Look, I couldn't do anything if I've got. Look, we know it takes 40 hours for American, 40 man hours for American to make a hat.
Mhm.
If you're doing it custom without all the machinery, how many hours do you think one guy has in making a hat?
Right. It's going to take a lot longer, especially to do it to a. If I would assume each custom maker has their own standard of quality.
Right.
To do it to their standard of quality is probably not going to take. It's going to take a lot longer than you probably would think.
I think so. We'll ask. I know some custom guys. We'll ask them how long it takes to make one hat. You got questions?
I have some.
I'm getting looked at.
Just Tracy Humphreys is here. He says, I saw and met you at the Fenolio boot store in the Stockyards
Hey, that's right. We saw you the other day.
the Friday after Christmas.
That's right. We
Glad-
had the family there.
Great to meet you all.
It was good meeting you too. I think we'd met before though. Actually, I think you just met him.
He comes
funny
into the
because-
store all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He
I
said-
think I think we saw him at the new store number 2, didn't we?
You probably have. He's been in there
think so.
quite a few times.
So
It's funny because he said, I'm Tracy. And then I said, Humphreys? Like I know. I see you guys here every week and I know your names. Trust me. So
she does. She's way better at names than I am. I can remember hat stuff.
And George Harple says, I appreciate you guys and what you do educating everyone about hats in general. I think a lot of folks want to wear cowboy hats, but have no clue what to buy or where to go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You see it all the time. Like all of the misinformation. You look at there's some groups that you go in there and look at, and the hats are bad, right? So
Yeah.
So we just want everybody to be aware of what they're buying.
Well, if we
If you-
know it, why can't everybody else know it?
If you're gonna exactly, but if you are going to go, if you have $300, if all you've got is $300, and you want to go get a hat, what hat are you going to buy? Are you going to buy that 5X Rodeo King wool, or what would you sell them? $300 is all I got in his pocket.
That's going to be, for us at the store, that's going to be the 6X Bailey. I think that's all we're going to have in the 300 range is going to be right at the 6X
Yeah.
Bailey.
Somebody, there are people who just don't have $400
No, you're absolutely right.
for an American set.
Absolutely right.
490,
470.
470. Some
560 for a light color.
they don't have it, right?
A lot of people that can't justify it. These are people that are buying, whether they have the money or not, they're buying a hat for. I've dealt with a lot of customers that say, I'm just buying this hat for a wedding. I'm just buying it just for this.
That's different, right?
Well, but most people that are buying these hats, the general public that are buying hats are not buying them as a tool or as a hat they're going to wear often.
Right.
It's going to be something they just dust off for special occasions.
Okay.
So those customers, I tell them all the time, maybe don't spend the crazy money for the really expensive hats.
Yeah.
Try and find something that's a little more cost effective for you. If it's not something you're going to put a lot of time in.
Well, what
Find
do you
something cost-effective.
recommend? What do you recommend? Is it the Bailey? I mean, do you try to
No, I try to stick them with a Rodeo King
Rodeo King?
because it's $350, so it's
Right.
at least $120 cheaper than the American.
Right.
But they're still getting a good quality hat.
Mhm.
I stand by that. Rodeo King does make a good hat.
Yeah.
And it's got beaver in it, so it's gonna be a hat that lasts a long time. Especially
It's-
if they're not wearing it very often, it's
it's
gonna last
probably-
a long time.
Look, it's probably the same as an American 7X, only it's not made in the American factory. It's made by somebody else on different machinery
Whatever the
and
case
a,
may be.
and a different process, right?
Whatever the case may be.
Right.
But it comes out to a cheaper hat, so a lot of people are drawn to it because of that. So that's a lot of the time, depending on the circumstances of what that customer's doing, and also how it fits. For me personally, Americans fit my head better than the Rodeo Kings do.
Yeah.
The Rodeo Kings just don't
Well,
fit
yeah,
my
they're
head
just a
very
different
well.
block. And they have a
Exactly.
different profile. If
Different
you look at them,
different
head
companies
on,
use different things.
if you look at them head on, they look like two different hats. I mean, they
are.
are.
Well, that's why I tell people too, try them on, see what fits you the best. For me personally, the American fits my head the best. If you look at the profile of my crown here on the sides versus the profile of my head, it lines up pretty well. Whereas the Rodeo King right through here on the sides of the crown is going to be much wider. So when you look down, there's a gap between where your head is and what's up here.
Right.
And for a lot of people, that is hard to look past.
Yeah.
But every hat fits someone else better than what it'll fit me.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it. It depends on that, what I'm going to recommend them.
Well, could you make that fit you?
That Rodeo King?
Yeah.
I've tried.
Yeah.
I've actually tried a few times to make one fit me.
Well, if you
because
had it,
they've got some cool cut.
if you put it in a conformator, would it fit?
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Look, the point is, custom maker. Ask them what they're making, right?
Try and get to the bottom.
If you're ordering a hat for $1,500, $2,000,
You have a right
to know what it is. Ask them what it is, and if they won't tell you, go somewhere else. Don't buy it. There's been a huge, well, I mean, obviously we've had a huge boom in the Western industry, and you see hat shortages across the board. That's
Right.
why you have new hat makers. There are a bunch of new hat makers since COVID. And there are different levels of hat makers.
Right.
Right.
There's the people that are making customs out of their garage
Yeah.
or their house.
Right.
There's the ones that are working in a small office building. There's ones that have their own facility.
You got the guy on Instagram who is
doing it for the views and for the social media.
No, he's selling them, but he's doing it on his
Coffee
table. Thank you.
I think I know which guy you're talking about. You've seen
There's a couple of them. And he has no clue what he's doing. He's taking a body and he's using hand tools
and string,
which is a legitimate way to make a hat.
I'm not saying it's not effective.
It's not going to be this hat.
No, it's not.
It's going to be a fabric in the shape of a hat, in the shape of a cowboy hat. And if that's what you like,
there again, what suits your needs?
What suits your needs?
Just
be aware it's a different thing. It is a different thing.
Don't try not to stir the pot too much with somebody wearing a hat.
That's the new hat maker, right? So right. that's the guy who's just buying the tools and making them on his coffee table.
He wants to start it.
Right.
I mean, he might have big aspirations of being a big company, but you got to start somewhere.
Hey, and if you want to support that guy, that's fine. That's great. You want to support that guy and you want to help him. Just don't expect it to be a fantastic hat because it's not going to be.
There's a hat for everyone.
Yeah, there is.
Sure.
There's a hat for everyone and every budget.
But don't pay $700 for, an all beaver hat from him. Probably not gonna be all beaver. Look, and then you've got the other guys who are using the right tools and who have been doing this for a little bit longer, and maybe they don't have all the tools. Maybe they got a small workshop, right? And maybe they're using bodies that are, I don't know how deep I want to go into this. Like everybody knows you've got Winchester and FEPSA bodies. Winchester bodies are known to be of a little, they have more variation in their bodies than FEPSA. And they are not being used by larger companies because FEPSA is producing a good product and it's consistent.
They've got it down to a science.
Right, they do. And it looks like a laboratory. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, Bundy actually showed us from his trip there too.
That's right. So I mean, it looks like a laboratory. They're doing it right. They've got the market cornered.
It's down to a science for them.
Yeah. So I will say that everybody gets some bodies from Winchester because you can order one or two or specific colors for them from those guys. But for the most part, the big guys are going to FEPSA to get their bodies. If I'm buying a custom hat, I'm going to personally make sure it's a FEPSA body.
Right.
Just
that's how you
because.
know you get the best quality.
Right.
Or
Now,
you start with the
I'm
best
not
quality.
saying, I am not saying that there isn't a custom maker out there who can make a fantastic hat out of a Winchester body.
No, we're
I'm
not saying that can't be done.
I'm just saying that as a general rule, the hat makers that I respect are using FEPSA bodies because they're better. And
It's a
not my,
it's a
those
better
aren't my
raw
words.
product.
Those are not my words. So they're using FEPSA bodies because they're better. This is what I've been told more than once.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
Gary Pennington on Facebook asks, if it takes 40 hours to build a hat at American, how did you get that done in one day?
40
Asking for a friend.
40 man hours.
Man hours.
So man hours are different than actual time.
Yeah. So if you get 2 people standing in a machine, or in our case, we had 4 people standing in a machine for an hour, that's 4 man hours.
1 hour real time, but 4 people each working that hour makes 4 man hours.
Yeah. So it depends on, and you didn't see the entire process. You saw an hour and 20 minutes of the entire day that we were there.
Right.
In that video. So look, I left in as much as I possibly could for that video.
Right.
And I got a natural. It has the absolute least amount of processing done to that hat. I don't know how deep I can go into it, but the light colors, they
require a lot more work. That's why the price on a silverbelly versus a black is night and day difference.
Yeah.
That's why a 7X black is $470 and a 7X silverbelly is $560. It's almost $100 more to make that light color because there's so much more effort that goes into making the body itself.
Yeah.
And that goes into finishing it and building it out as a complete hat.
And look, I didn't stand around watching production and see how many people were working on production hats. This is one hat that was walked through the process.
Right.
So all I can tell you is what they told me. 40 man hours in a hat. So math doesn't check out. I didn't write it down. It's not my equation. But Connor has worked there. He can tell you.
No, that sounds about right for everything that I did when I worked there.
There you go. Yes.
Just
I heard. Am I running long?
A little, but I wanted to tell them about the TikTok scammer.
Oh yeah. It's in my notes. We've only been doing this an hour.
I got things to do. Just kidding.
This is what we do for a living, lady. Stay there. Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll try to hurry through this. If Connor will quit getting me off track.
Look at Connor. Read the room.
I'm not tired. I'm just looking at him because he is in rare form tonight.
I haven't done one of these videos in like 3
I know,
or 4
and you're
weeks.
acting like you forgot how to do it.
Really? I thought I was doing pretty good.
You're being very passionate tonight. That's what we're gonna call him. You're being very passionate.
More passion. More energy.
He's rocking the more passion, the more energy for sure.
All right.
It's not a bad thing.
You just want me to throw these away and we'll just be done?
No, I'm cool.
All right. Okay. All right.
Hey, but you got to leave something for him to come back to next week.
Oh,
too.
we're doing X Factor next week.
So for the next 6 months, you're gonna see these same note cards.
No,
because we've made it through like page 2 of 20.
We're on 12 of 22.
12. I was close.
He's kidding.
You have 22 notes there?
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, you don't.
I don't?
Really?
Yeah. Why not?
I thought he was kidding.
You really thought we were gonna get through that much?
I'm blind. There's not a lot on them.
Look at the size of that handwriting, Connor. Again, show it again.
Some of them just have one line on it. See?
Connor's dying.
Man, I'm
organized.
supposed to be the blind one, dude.
Hey, look, people say that you keep getting us off track, and they want structure.
And they're absolutely correct.
It's his job, man. It's his job. All right,
that's legitimately what I'm here for.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Mass production and really good hat makers are kind of on the same level. Like a mass-produced hat and a really good custom guy are, in my opinion,
Yeah.
on the same level.
Yeah.
And that to me would be American Rodeo King and some of your mainstream custom guys who've been doing this a really long time, have all the equipment, are using the best bodies, right? Those guys.
They have their own facility. They are, dare I say, quote unquote, trying to mass produce custom hats. That's
I don't know.
I don't want to say mass produce, but they are trying to make
I'm trying to draw
customs
a
kind of
parallel
But yeah.
quality.
I would absolutely agree with that.
Okay. And then you have the top tier guys, which
Right.
I say there's a handful, and I want to say less than 10, right? I think there's less than 10 really.
And there might be more that we don't even know about.
There could be. That's absolutely true. You're 100% right.
And I hope that's the case.
You're 100%
I
right.
really hope that's the case.
I think I would know about it.
The quality snob would know, yes.
Well, I talk to these guys,
Right.
right? I talk to custom hat makers,
Right.
and I hear who they say, this guy is fantastic, this guy's good, makes a great
Yeah.
hat, this guy makes a great hat.
When you're talking with the greats and they have something to say, listen.
Absolutely.
If they have an opinion,
Yeah.
if somebody that's at the top has a good opinion of somebody else,
Mhm.
coming from over here to this, probably a good idea. If somebody at the top has a very low opinion of somebody else, verify that with other people.
I think this is ruined because she's got me in this mode where I should be hurrying up, and I want to talk more about kind of the mass produced hats versus like your mainstream high end custom hat maker. And I want to stress that American and Rodeo King as examples are not trying to be custom makers.
No, they're
Right.
not.
But they have enough process in place that they are using good machinery. They have a lot of knowledge about how to make this hat. Also, they are using the best materials, right? So they're producing a hat on a level with a custom manufacturer. Maybe you're not getting that custom fit,
Right.
but you have pretty good access to them, right? I can call Joby's or, call you at Joby's and say, hey, Connor, do you have a 100X Black American? Do you have one? Probably.
Give me a size.
7.5.
Guarantee we do.
There you go.
How about 8?
Yeah. We
Someone
carry
was
8s.
asking about size 8.
I sold a size 8 earlier this week, actually.
Now, if you call,
Joe Blow down the street,
Thank
a
you.
smaller store.
well, no, I'm talking about a custom guy. If you call a custom guy and say, hey, I need a 100X today
it's not gonna
in
happen.
black.
They don't have sitting on
No.
most custom guys
No.
don't have
So
hats
that's
sitting on a
the
shelf.
difference, right? That's the difference. That's the main difference. American is giving you, American and Rodeo King, I'm talking about these two because I think they both make a great hat.
They're pumping out enough hats for each store to have multiple
Yeah.
colors, sizes, things available,
But
ready to go same day.
I think they're a great quality hat.
Right.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Custom alike, maybe you call it.
I don't know the correct terminology
No.
to use there, but I know exactly,
Yeah.
and I get what you're saying, and hopefully you guys understand what
Yeah.
he's getting at.
Yeah. And then you have that top tier custom guy where you get
Like
two,
that
2 years wait, no problem.
like that 500X bone that we felt.
Yeah. Right.
That's
I
a
mean,
hat I'd be happy to wait on.
Really? Okay. All right.
I mean, you felt the finish on it.
Oh, it's great.
Are you going to get that from a production hat?
No, I would love to have an Andre hat. Andre, call me. Actually, I'd love to have Andre on the podcast. That'd be pretty interesting.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So, Dylan, make that happen, buddy. Dylan does watch the podcast every once in a while. So, excellent brands. Yeah, we got to that already. Top tier, we did that one already. What makes a great hat? All right, so this is where what's the difference between that kind of general, really good custom hat maker hat, an American hat? What makes a really good hat? In your opinion, I'll give you my opinion afterwards. But what makes, if you wanted to go out and look at two different hats, what's going to be that top tier quality that you're looking for?
I'm looking for finish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for weight or thickness,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking for body.
Yep.
I don't want something that's flimsy. Now, granted, my hat's a little soft and a little flimsy because I've beaten the absolute dog out of it
Yep.
the past 5 or 6 years that I've had it. But I want something that's stiff as a board,
Mm-hmm.
smooth as it can get,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want it to be thick and heavy. I
Yep.
want it to be, I don't want it too thin either that it's just flimsy. I want it thick enough that it's going to hold itself. It's going to hold up to the abuse, but I don't want it to be a ½ inch thick either.
Right. So Connor and I have not talked about this. He did not see my notes, and we did not have. I didn't tell you this. Right. So this is what I look for in a truly top quality high end hat.
Same thing.
Well, yeah. So crispness, hat body, how crisp it is, without being kind of
Unshapeable.
unshapeable, right? Thinness, it needs to be thin, right? You don't want a really thick body, and
No,
that's
'cause that
kind of what gets me with the JW Brooks. It's a little thick for me.
Which makes it heavy
It
on the
is
head.
heavy, right? You want it lightweight, but durable, and then finish. You want it short, smooth, and tight. You really have to see it. I mean, you have to really look at a high-end hat. Take a 500X American silverbelly and look at that. That is kind of the epitome of what it should be. It's
Right.
It's really crisp. It snaps. It's really finished. A lot shorter. The silverbelly feels a lot shorter, and that could be a lot of the cosmetics that goes into it because it is silverbelly, and that kind of goes into the process of making that hat that makes a silverbelly more expensive than say a black. So there could be multiple factors, but I think the silverbelly next to say my steel in there is just night and day difference.
Night and day difference. Absolutely.
Yeah. So finish is big, but if it's finished immaculately and soft, I don't care.
It doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make any difference.
I need something that can hold up.
Right.
And a hat that's soft and flimsy is not going to
Right.
hold
So
up.
if you don't have all three of those,
It's not a good hat,
it's not a good hat.
in my opinion.
And then you can go even further. So sweatband, is it high quality sweatband? Is it comfortable? Is it gonna last?
None
right?
of that leather tooled hat bands.
Is it gonna last? And if you do wear it out, how easy is it to get repaired? Right? Because there's a lot of companies out there who make and mass produce hats. You can't get them refurbished. You can't send them in and say, put a new sweatband in this for me. Yeah.
Right.
Now this liner, it might not seem like a big thing, but can you get a new liner, right? So how hard is it? I saw this in the Stetson group the other day. It's like, hey, can I get a new liner for my 6X? And I just laughed, and somebody said, no, you can't, because you can't get those. Okay, I didn't know that, but I mean that goes to the simple fact: if you bought a hat and you can't get a liner for it, then what do you do?
Right.
Right? You go to a store and hopefully they got one under the counter somewhere.
Would you buy a vehicle without parts availability?
Right.
Same kind of thing.
So I mean, it's not a huge deal, but the liner,
Well,
can you get it replaced? All right. And then, all right, let's talk about the band. If you guys haven't seen the 1000X video,
Where have you been?
where have you been? But watch how they make that band, right? So it actually came off of the edge of my hat.
mhm.
And then Cody turned that round piece into a flat long piece. And then a lady took that and she put holes in it. And then she put a working buckle on it.
Yep.
And she buckled it.
Yep.
Right. And then everything went together. So it's a functioning buckle set cut from the
Your
end of
hat
my
band is
hat.
basically a small belt.
It is definitely a small
That's
buckle.
all it is. It's a small belt.
And they glue it down so that it doesn't unbuckle, right? So the tassel, the end is
Very-
glued down, but you could actually unbuckle it because it's not glued down super tight either. It's not like
No.
you could unbuckle it.
It's just a little dab of glue to hold it down.
As a matter of fact, my silverbelly is the glue came off, so I need to.
This
send
was
that.
done. I fixed it on this one. It's done it before.
Can you do mine? There you go.
Unfortunately, yes, I can.
So, is your hat maker? Now we've seen some buckles that are put together and they don't take off that extra material, and it really sticks out. It's wide.
Some are just glued on.
Some are just glued on. Some are not glued or sewn at all. They're just kind of left there. Gluing is even worse than I think than anything. I would rather them not do anything to it and just let it sit there than glue it down.
Oh, I'm talking about the buckle set glued onto the band itself.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about the whole band.
Right. Some companies will glue their band itself onto the hat.
Yeah.
Some will stitch it, and some will
if they're
just do
gluing it, I'd rather they just leave it off and I'll put a ribbon on it
because it leaves that residue.
Yeah. So these are things you look at when you're looking for a good quality hat.
Yeah.
Whether there's a lot more that goes into it.
Whether it's from a custom or a big name manufacturer.
Yeah, 100%. Now, buckle quality, I don't think it's a huge deal because all the buckles are basically the same, unless you get into like a Stetson 1000X where they got $1,800 in the buckle set, which is a big part of the price of that hat. American's gold and diamond buckle set, I am sure, is not that much money, but it's pretty. I don't need it to be that pretty.
No, it is. At the end of the day, it's just a hat band.
Basically, you get $15 in every buckle. Right. No matter what.
At the end of the day,
it's not a huge.
Well, like I say, at the end of the day, it is just a hat band.
Right. So, buckle quality is not huge, in that aspect. Yeah, just make sure it's securely attached. Shouldn't protrude out like some we've seen. Functionality, make sure it's a working buckle set. I want to see a working buckle set. If they're going to put that time and money into a hat, make sure the buckle's right. Right?
Like I say, quality.
It is overall
it's a sign
quality.
Of quality.
Let's see what else we got here. And I'm done.
Okay.
Not really. We're at the end. We're at the end of my rant on quality of custom hat makers, and I tried to hurry up at the end there.
Hashtag quality snob.
If you want to know a good quality custom hat maker,
they're asking for names, Joe.
Yeah, I'm not giving you names here. But we can talk about that somewhere else. We'll think about that. Maybe we'll publish a list. I don't know. Maybe we'll put it in the Cowboy Cartel group. But we're not going to do that right now. Because we're not going to do that right now. Let's talk about the shaping video. So the shaping video, like I said, is going to be out in a day or two for this 1000X. It's basically done. I got to put some music to it and get it uploaded. So you guys are going to see that here in the next day or two. It won't be tomorrow, probably Tuesday is what I'm shooting for. Connor is back off of vacation, and we're going to be working over the next few weeks.
Yeah, today was actually my legitimate day off from the store too.
Look, we tried.
We were going to try and do something different for you guys, but
we were going to try to do the software we have has the ability for Connor to call in.
Which we've done before. We've done a phone call in before.
Right, but this would allow you to video
interact.
Call in.
You'd be able to interact a little bit more.
Right, and we could put Connor. We could basically put you in the seat right there on video.
It's something we're going to try for.
And we'll try it.
Future events when, whatever the case, maybe I'm tired from work.
If I'm someplace like Double R, and we want to bring you in, it's something we could do.
I hadn't thought about that.
We could put Joby in here from Europe right now. It's
right.
There are advantages.
It opens up possibilities.
Right. So we could have guests in here on video chat in the future, and we've got some guests coming. Right. So this month we talked. Well, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to promise Double R will be in here. Emilio from Double R is going to be in here. We asked him if he's going to be in town. If he is, we're going to do something. I don't know if it's going to be a podcast or a video or what it's going to be. American Hat Company. We've got a lot of people scheduled for them. Julie Dawson. I got to get Cody Bates and Keith Mundy lined out. We're going to get those guys in here. Wes is coming up. So there's a ton of potential for somebody we meet at WESA. Get them in here. right? So that might not be on one of these Sunday lives, but we'll
No,
be able
more
to
than
do a podcast during the week, and we'll get them in here. And then we got the stock show. So the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. When is it? The 23rd, 24th, something like that.
I'm honestly not sure of the date on that one.
It's like the week of the 20th. I think.
I know it goes into February.
It's like the week of the 20th. Well, I'll get you the dates on that if you guys don't know.
Maybe before WESA, because WESA starts on the 22nd.
I thought it was the day after WESA. Yes, WESA will be at WESA on the 22nd and 23rd, I think. We called for our tickets. I have not heard back on those yet. But we will let you know what dates we're going to be there. We're hoping to be there the 22nd, 23rd, which is Wednesday and Thursday, I believe. Let's see. Yep, February class is full. That was really an interesting. It was an interesting situation. I thought we would have a lot more time. It filled up in the first month. Like I think we opened it at the end of. Was it at the end of November or was it the beginning of December? We opened the February
End
class.
of November, probably.
Yeah, and it filled up in a month. So fortunately and unfortunately for you guys who did not, it filled up too quickly. We should have, if we thought about it, we might have been able to do 2 that week. I don't know. I mean, if we have 5 people who want to take the class, we might be able to get that done. I don't know. We still might be able to add another class.
Something to remember.
We'll think about it.
Something to remember, guys, is that a lot of that hinges on my schedule at work.
His schedule and the venue.
Venue as well.
Because we booked this venue well in advance.
Right.
And so we'll figure it out and we'll let you know. But hopefully we can get something going. Did you tell him about the scammer yet already?
Nope.
Okay. Tell him about the scammer. Lodana's got a scammer. Hey, look, I didn't know about this. So I guess we got a bunch of emails. But go ahead, tell them about the scammer.
So, on TikTok, there happens to be another account claiming to be Cowboy Cartel Group, but they're not. So listen, y'all, if you get a message on TikTok, on Messenger, on Facebook, on Instagram, claiming that you've won a hat, and the only thing you have to do is pay for shipping, don't, because that's not us.
No.
We are never, ever going to message you asking you for money. That's a big no here. And of course, every giveaway we do, if you want, we've contacted you by email. And of course, look at the address.
Yeah,
look at the
cowboycartelgroup.com.
Yes.
And if you win a giveaway from us, we cover the shipping.
We do. Unless you're out of the country. No, American, I think American makes them pay shipping, but you pay shipping directly to American.
Right, yeah, you're paying American. American will call you for your shipping information.
Yeah.
You'll get a
So
phone
thanks
call
for everyone who messaged us on TikTok saying, hey, you guys, there's this scammer.
We're verified on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. So look for the check mark. We've got over 50,000 followers on TikTok. I think the person who's claiming to be us has like 3,000. I mean, it's a dead giveaway, right?
Yeah.
Not us. As they already mentioned, we will email. We don't just pick somebody at random unless it's in one of these live streams. We do,
a live stream giveaway like this.
Yeah.
We do pick somebody from the live stream, but we mention it live and we tell you in the chat. So yeah, just be careful.
So yeah, be careful. Beware of scammers. Now, it's kind of flattering, because it means that we're doing something right.
It means we're big enough that somebody wants to be us.
Right?
I don't know about all that. But
well, if you look at it from that perspective, it's
look, if you see this fake Cowboy Cartel TikTok, report them because we can't. I looked when she told me about it, and I can't even look at them. They have me blocked so that I can't see them. I couldn't report them, couldn't even see them.
Right.
So, yeah, if you see them, report them.
Yes.
Any final thoughts, Connor? Any final questions?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I mean, they're asking about Connor's new boots. How are they holding up?
He's not wearing them. We both have injured ourselves.
I wouldn't say injured, but I'm trying to give my feet a bit of a break
Yeah.
because I've been hard on myself.
Yeah. I we've been hitting the trails, and I pulled a calf muscle, and then I let it heal, and then we went walking in the stockyards. I pulled it again, and then I let it heal, and then we went back to the hiking, and I pulled it again. So I'm wearing Hey Dudes today.
I take that back. I actually did injure one of my ankles. I was trying to give my feet a rest, and I went out to Mitchell's place wearing these, and these are leather bottom and not the Ranch Tough soles or Ariat shoes or anything like that. And I climbed up on that Oliver to unload something, and I hit that skid plate on top right by that seat, and I went down and rolled that ankle real good.
I got 2 weeks to Wessa, so I'm gonna take it easy and try not to injure it a fourth time. That way, hopefully, I can make it through there. I don't want to be.
Yeah, you're old. You don't heal as well as you used to.
Yeah, no, you don't. That starts about 38.
I think it starts about 27.
It starts about 38, 39 when you
buckle up, Connor.
Yeah, when stuff doesn't start healing.
I know my back hurts every single day.
Or it takes a lot longer to heal.
They're asking for a giveaway on Facebook. Michael Charles says, pick one of the 12 of us for a simple giveaway. Would be cool and make more people follow you. 9 viewers
I feel like
right
they're
now.
bullying us into giving away stuff.
Okay,
all right.
Let's do something.
You can't do that. You can't give into the whims of the
peer pressure.
Next Sunday.
Yeah.
If we reach 100 viewers,
sure,
we'll give a hat brush away.
Well, I mean, just a hat brush.
Okay, 2 hat brushes.
Get one of each. One of dark, one of
yes, one of each.
2 hat brushes and a sponge.
Yeah.
2 hat brushes and a sponge.
Basic cleaning kit.
You get the Cowboy Cartel cleaning kit.
There you go. Basic cleaning kit.
All right.
Yeah.
100 likes on the next stream. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm planning on having somebody here next week, but I don't know yet.
Okay.
We have an idea just in case.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm trying to say, you guys. Spread the word, like the stream.
Yep.
That helps us a lot.
Yep. Why don't you do that giveaway for our members?
All right.
Because we really appreciate our members. And so why don't you do that? We'll do that offline maybe, or we'll do that Wednesday. Remind me.
Yes.
And we'll do it on our Wednesday members only live stream.
So there's 2 kinds of people in this world. There's subscribers and there are members.
2 types of people.
Yes, you guys, if you like,
And she does answer the members' questions first, I think. Right?
Yes.
Because those are her favorites.
Hey, Evelyn is here.
Hey, Evelyn.
Yeah.
I feel like she's over there on her high horse some days.
Well, I
noticed
she's over there talking to them in chat because I'm talking at some point and the camera's on you and I see her just typing away. So.
As long as she's not ending the stream, we're good.
Here's what you do. When you are going to go type, just take it back to camera 1. And then you can go type.
All right.
Wait a minute. Is it camera 2? What's camera 2? Is that camera 2?
You are camera 2,
okay.
3, and 1.
There you go. Take it back to number 1 then. All right.
Magic of editing.
Take it back now, y'all.
There are 3 types of people in the world, those who can count and those who can't. Oh, that's funny.
I thought there were 2 types of people, those who've been at the moon and those who use the metric system.
Oh, here we go again. Just
freedom units and communist measurements.
Freedom units, that's right.
I can't keep... I'm outnumbered here, y'all. Justin Gebhard, how often do you clean hats that you work in?
Evidently not enough. I was at the best hat store, and Danny had my silverbelly, and he's like, "When's the last thing you wore this? It's got cobwebs all over it." And I'm like, "Man, I wear this every day."
I don't clean mine. I just don't.
Maybe it's my eyes. Maybe my eyes aren't good.
The way Connor treats his hats hurts Joe.
No, it doesn't.
Deeply.
These guys say that all the time. I don't care. It's his hat. But if we're going somewhere, put a brush on it. If we're gonna be doing a video, hit it with a brush, right?
Hit it with a brush. Got it.
Yeah.
Let me see here what we got on Facebook before we leave.
I left Facebook open for
Oh,
you to.
Michael Charles, thanks for the try. You're welcome, Michael. God knows I tried. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this is very cool, you guys, but maybe you want to do this next Sunday? Want to describe the worst quality hat you've ever saw? Worst of the worst. No naming names, though. LOL.
I know it's the one I broke. 6X Cody Johnson broke right in my hand. I don't know what happened.
So it's bad because you broke it,
Yeah.
Connor?
I can't say.
You can't say?
I can't say.
Okay.
I'll tell you off camera.
All right. All right.
Ooh.
There you go.
Ian.
Hey, look, there are some things that we cannot discuss because, look, it's
Because of our affiliations.
it could be a one-off situation, or it could just be a bad hat, or, it might be a rival and we don't want to talk about something that's,
I don't want to
inherently
shame
bad for
anybody.
somebody. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going to cast stones.
There's a lot of reasons we can't talk about certain things.
Ian Penman says, tell Joe I'm shipping him some snow. Yay.
I told you, man, it's not me who likes the snow. It's Lorena. We are supposed
It's
to
me.
get some snow here, and I told her. So if you guys don't know, Texas, sometimes we get snow and we get ice down here, and it can potentially end the world for a week or so. So Lorena has not really had the chance to experience that. So I told her to make sure she goes to the grocery tomorrow, because come Friday,
the end's
we
gonna
could be,
work.
could be sold out of everything.
Yeah. You see the first couple of snowflakes and everybody runs to the store and
Yes.
load up.
Yes.
Because Lord knows you might be snowed in for at least
8-9
a
hours.
day.
Yeah.
Next day you got like 20 loaves of bread. And,
Yeah.
So
Or
stay
no,
warm.
gallons of
But
milk.
seriously, we could potentially lose power if
Oh yeah, here in Texas, the
Yeah.
infrastructure, the grid is not very good, and
why
usually when
that
it
is.
snows or ice is over, they do rolling blackouts to conserve power. So, all my folks that live out in the country like I do, you got Dearborns, make sure you got propane, because that's what I do. I just filled up on propane actually.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll come out there and stay with you.
I got Dearborns in the house. You good to go? Come on.
Good. We have a place to go now.
All right. There we go. Anything else?
Tracy says, I'll be in the store soon to get a 100X from Connor.
There you go. We get that all the time. There's a lot of people who we and I'm going to tell you right now, we really appreciate you guys telling us if you have gone to see Connor, or if you've gone to Joby, or if you have gotten something out of our videos and it has made you decide to try an American hat or a specific product that we are talking to you about, because it's really important to us to talk about good quality products that we think are really good products.
Right.
Right. So we love to hear your thoughts on what we have said.
Right.
So we really appreciate it. Anything else?
I think that's it. Just
All right. Yes.
remember that we broadcast live every Sunday on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
You can shoot your questions.
At least YouTube, sometimes Facebook.
Oh, and I just remembered they wanted to know if American makes their own bodies.
No.
They don't.
No. And this was something I wanted to get into too. There are very few people who are making their own bodies anymore. I know Saratelli used to. I do not know if they still are. I'm going to find out about that. Everybody's using FEPSA bodies. Everybody who's anybody is using FEPSA bodies. Even Stetson Resistol Hatco is using FEPSA bodies. They are making their own 6X at least and wool hats. So I don't know what else they're using, but I would assume any of their 30X and up are all coming from FEPSA.
And David James asks, what's Connor's store to pick up a hat? I want to show them.
Do you want to show them why?
Well, because
Connor, can you reach that?
Oh no! Oh no!
can you?
You think this out beforehand.
This is, I know. Here we go.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, guys. So bear with us. I don't know what's happening here.
Because maybe like they don't know the brand, so I don't know. So Connor works at Joby's
Oh,
hat store,
okay.
and I just want to show off a hat I won.
Okay. But this isn't the one you're going to get.
It's not, but okay, guys, I need you to help me decide.
I don't know where this is going. It's off the rails. Go ahead.
I don't know if I should get a purple hat or
Are we opening this or what?
yeah, you want. I mean, yeah, you want.
I don't understand what's going on. Open the hat, please.
So I don't know if I should get a purple hat or maybe an arena color. Is that what it's called? Joby's color. That's like a pecan.
Mhm.
You know. So I don't know.
Okay. So why don't you do a poll on what color your next hat should be next time? Because you should be able to do that right from
Oh yeah.
there. Anyway,
Should.
Joby's new 10X hat is on the on the spinning Connor, or the spinning on
The
Connor,
spinning cutter.
something. I don't know what it's doing here. Yeah. So Joby's new 10X hat. It is a fantastic hat. Let me feel it.
I love the liner. Look at that.
Great hat. Yeah, he did a really good job on that. So, what else what else do you have over there? Anything else? We're right at the, what are we at here? We're an hour and 45 minutes.
Yes. You want to break a record and go for 2 hours?
No, I do not.
Well, I got some questions here from TikTok.
Yeah, we'll answer questions.
Now?
Yeah, I can answer questions.
What do you recommend for storing hats long term? Also, does 1000X come with a warranty?
Yeah. Does 1000X come with a warranty, Connor? What kind of warranty? I mean, I mean,
Called renovation with American.
well, I mean, warranty is not going to fall apart. That's just the American name. They stand behind their products. Warranty as in you're going to get tomato sauce on it and you need them to get it out. No, not really. But I mean, it's not going to fall apart.
No, it's good enough. It doesn't need a warranty.
Right. I mean,
The hat itself isn't going to come apart.
Are you going to get that hat and do something to it, or just decide you don't like it so you want to return it? No. Is there a manufacturing defect in it, and American's going to fix it? Absolutely.
If it's a legitimate manufacturer issue, American will take care of it.
Yeah. So I mean, in that case, yes, there's a warranty.
But other than that, no, there's no real warranty.
No.
They offer renovation, but there's no real warranty.
Okay. Jerry Short on TikTok asks, what hats can you recommend in a size 8 that are so hard to find? Felt primarily, but straw as well.
American Rodeo King.
Rodeo King doesn't go up to a size 8.
What?
7 3/4, I believe, is their biggest size.
Okay. American. Stetson makes Stetson Resistol both make 8s.
Just get an American.
There you go.
You'll be better off that way. It's going to cost you a little bit more money, but you'll be happier.
See?
I
Happier in
really
the long run.
hope this person is listening. He wrote us an email
Okay.
and he just said, I need a size 8 hat. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Come
Look,
to Joby's.
I get a lot of those emails.
People think we sell hats.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
don't.
no, we don't. I mean,
Yet.
we could, maybe.
We don't sell them yet.
Not yet. Yeah. My go-to answer is call Joby's.
We have 2 locations.
Yeah.
To serve you.
Yeah.
I need help. I'm trying to find a place where I can get a hat shaped in North Carolina near Asheville.
North Carolina. Isn't that Doc?
Duck Glover. You guys go to our website and then there's a how do you call that?
There's a tab that
Thank you.
says, what does it say? Certified Hat Shapers.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's as we go through the hat shaping schools, it's going to grow. We're going to have 10 more on it next month.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go on there. And actually, we have 3 people coming from Australia.
I'm so excited that people are coming all the way from Australia,
Yeah,
y'all.
that's the furthest so far, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So that's our website right there. /
CowboyCartelGroup.com / It's probably just look for certified hat shaper. Excuse me, or certified hat shaper.
And last comment says, I'm not a cowboy, but I'm beginning to learn about the different types of hats and the various crowns and brims. I would like to get a hat eventually, but I don't want to come across as a fraud. Where do I start? I've learned a lot from your channel.
Hey, I'm glad you're learning something. I think if you want to wear a hat, wear a hat. You're not a fraud. There are that cowboy, a real no shit cowboy is probably one of the hardest people to find, right? It's not. It's one of the rarest
Well, here's-
jobs out there. Anybody wearing a cowboy hat out here right now is probably not a cowboy.
Here's the thing: a real cowboy, a true cowboy, true blue, tried and true. They're not going to say a word about your hat.
No, they don't give a shit.
They don't care about the hat. They care about the person underneath.
Yeah.
So don't worry about being a fraud.
Yeah.
You know, that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. If
Cowboy hat is just a name. It is not just for cowboys.
if somebody says something about your hat, they probably ain't no cowboy.
Yeah, that's true. And we see that all the time.
All hat, no cattle.
I mean, that's
Whole hat, no, never mind.
probably better that you refrained on that one.
I don't know what he was going to say, but I'm definitely going to
I
ask
think
later.
I do.
I will ask later.
Might have rhymed with rain. But anyway, you have anything else?
I have a question about that, but maybe later. Anyway, let me see how many likes we have tonight. 53. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not
Hey guys, we
bad.
really appreciate you joining us tonight. I know we went a little long. I had a kind of a lot to talk about, and we probably didn't hit everything that I wanted to talk about. There's so much involved in this stuff, and you know, it's our goal to just educate as many people as as we can, and yeah. So hat shaping school, we will be here Thursday for the live hat shaping school live online
Online hat
school
shaping school.
live stream. So if you are a member of the hat shaping school, oh, Connor's tired.
Sorry,
cut-
Connor. I
She
switched.
cut right in the
switched
middle of a yawn.
exactly. I'm sorry.
Am I boring you?
No, I was up early this morning on my day off.
Yeah. And I made him come in all the way here.
I don't know how you
we
do
tried.
it, Connor.
We tried. I was trying. I
it
was
is what it
trying
is.
to get it fixed so he didn't have to come in. But we are glad you did. Thank you for coming in, Connor.
Absolutely.
So hat shaping school, we are going to be Connor and I will be doing videos. So we've got a bunch of good ideas. I think they're good ideas. They're ideas anyway. We've got a bunch of ideas for new videos. We've been trying to get videos out every week, and as we go forward, we're going to try to get 2 videos out a week, and then maybe 1 video a day. I don't know. Stick around, find out. We'll see what happens. Look, Connor's got anxiety already. But we really appreciate your support, and we really appreciate you guys watching our videos and hanging out with us and all of your questions. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And Connor, you got anything to say?
Thanks.
Guys, we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, guys. And remember,